Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you are new. My name is Heather. I am a homeschooling mom of 3 kids. We are going into our 11th year homeschooling. I'm also the owner and author behind townsendhouse.com, where I help you implement systems and strategies in order to overcome the chaos and cultivate simplicity in your home and homeschool. Today, I am going to be sharing all of my July goals progress in my PowerSheets goal planner, as well as what I plan to work on in August. So let's get started. In July, my focus was vacation because we had a lot of family visiting and my husband took some time off from work. So we did have some vacation and I did focus on it and it was really wonderful. I actually took a social media break for a week in July, which was a lot harder than I had expected. It was not a complete technology break. I was still watching movies with my kids and we were still involved in technology type things, mainly just watching TV and movies. But I realized that I have some major habits when it comes to social media, and I did not think that I was a big user of social media, but after I decided that I was going to take some time off from social media, mainly a break from my main homeschool network because I have this great Facebook group community, and just sort of taking a step back so I could have some vacation time. It is such a habit for me to get up in the morning, get my coffee, and press that Facebook button on my phone. Even if I'm not using it to mindlessly scroll, I'm still it's a habit to just get on several times a day. And so I ended up deleting Facebook and Instagram from my phone so that I would not default to it when I was just sitting down, because it's very normal for me to sit down and check those things. So I did focus on vacation. It was wonderful. We had a really good month. It was very full and very long, but here we are and it's August and I can't believe it's already August. So first I'm going to go through my monthly action items for July. The first was to print and bind my homeschool materials, which I did. I do not print and bind everything for the entire year. This is mainly focused on my Brave Writer resources. So I do have the arrow that we're going to be using in August printed, and also the dart that I'm starting with Lucy printed, and I coil bound both of those. It was very exciting for me. I felt really accomplished doing that. I know it's so silly, but I was happy to have that done. The next thing was to organize my homeschool cart. I did have a vlog a couple of weeks ago about struggling to organize that, because we have a lot of books that we use and they're too tall for the bottom and the middle basket. So I wasn't sure how I was going to organize it. I did finish it and I will have like a little video for you soon so that you can see how I set it up. The next thing for relating to my Townsend House goal was to brainstorm back to school content, which I did complete, and then finish July content, which I also did complete. I originally had thought that I would do videos during our vacation week, but I ended up scrapping all of those videos and pushed them forward because I just wanted a full break and I didn't want to put up a new video and then not be able to answer emails or comments about it. So that was that. But I did finish all of the July content and I was happy about it. Now, for my more personal goals, life-giving home and life-giving homeschool, one of my monthly action items was the July and August time blocks to sort of figure out how we're going to ease back into school, and I have done that. I know I've talked in several of my previous goals videos that I want to go through and do a whole time inventory again. I do plan to do that probably either at the end of August or the beginning of September, just so that I can really, once we are fully into all of our subjects, we have started our slow start already. And so we're adding subjects each week so that hopefully by, mid-August, we have all of our subjects that we're going to be doing on the schedule. So at that point, then I'll be able to really figure out how long it's taking us to get through certain subjects. If I need to adjust our time blocks at all, that's when I'm going to do it. But I do have July and August ready to go. July obviously is finished. I'm continuing it for August. The next thing that I had on my monthly action items for my life-giving home is to reorganize the entry closet. And I sort of did that. It's kind of a project that I do want to take. We have, the shelves are those like wire shelves with the spaces in between them, which they are great and they function fine, but I'd like to have something solid in there because I do store some food and like canned goods, and it's harder to stack those on those wire shelves. So I'd like to replace the shelves and paint in there because it's just, what is it? It just has primer right now, so I do want to paint it at some point. Probably after we finish Jack's cubby, then I will use the remainder of the paint from his cubby to just freshen up in that entry closet. I'm not sure when that's going to be. I would love to say that it'll be in August. I don't know. It probably will not be. I don't even think I actually have it on my list for August. I might, I'm not sure. The next thing that I had was finish painting Jack's cubby, which we did not get to because our weeks were just too full and our weekends, we had so much stuff going on, which was great. We had a lot of fun. I just did not have time to finish out that little painting project. The next thing on my monthly action items was to go through my food inventory. I did do that. I just needed to make a list of things that we were low on so that I can put them on a list for a big Sam's Club trip soon. Just sort of getting everything ready for fall and more baking and soup type meals, etc. The next thing on my list was vacation, which is more the family fun goal for myself this year. And we had a great vacation. Unfortunately, the weather did not cooperate. It was rainy a lot of the time, but we were able to go and do a bunch of fun things. We went bowling, we went to this giant arcade, we did an indoor zip lining course, which was a lot of fun. And I used to love to do all of that stuff growing up. I love ropes courses and things like that. And I realized that I really don't have a fear of heights. And there are a couple of outdoor ropes courses in our area that I just completely forgot about. And I want to take Emma and Jack to do those things. Matt is not as big of a fan of heights. And obviously Lucy is not either. So she does the little kids course and she loved that. And Matt mainly helped her with that. He did go up off the zip line a couple of times, but it was not nearly as much as I did. And in the moment, I wasn't really thinking about being scared of heights. It's never been something that I've thought of, but afterwards when we were all in the car on the way home talking about it, and Emma and Matt were both kind of like, oh, it was a little disconcerting to be up so high and are the ropes gonna hold? But we had a great time. It was a lot of fun and it was much needed. I was really pleased with our vacation. And then my last monthly action item was my planning day, and I did do that. My weekly action items, Sunday planning, I did complete that every week. Food prep, I also completed every week, and zone cleaning, I also completed every week. And then the fourth thing was family fun. These were all personal related goals, and we did something fun every week. Partly because we had family up visiting. It was 4th of July. We visited with friends. We had our vacation. So we had another big family gathering. So plenty of family fun stuff in the month of July. It was kind of crazy, all of the stuff that we did. The last weekly action item that I had was to work on the Townsend House backend stuff every week, which I did. There was one day that I updated a plugin and it pretty much broke my website, and that was really stressful. Thankfully, it was not during my vacation, so I was able to get on the phone with my hosting and get all of that figured out, but it was also when my tech guru person that helps me with my website, she was out of the office on vacation, so I was kind of like, oh, I don't know what to do. But I did work on all of the back end stuff slow and steady. We just keep going, just keep plugging along. For my daily action items and habits, the first one was read with the kids, and I did that almost every day of the month. I did not do it for the majority of our vacation because we were just gone so much and we would crash when we got home. But pretty much every other day this month I did read with the kids, and we've been enjoying that time. My main homeschool network check-in, I did that every day except for when we were on vacation. And it was so hard not to check in because I feel so connected with all of the moms and dads in that group, and I just want to make sure that I'm helping them as much as possible. And so I did feel a little guilty not checking in and answering questions, but it was needed, and I am happy that I did complete that week off. Okay, the next thing was a 30-minute tidy. And I did do that except for our vacation week, which was very evident the following week when, even though we were home, we weren't like away all week. We would get up and leave the house every day. So I had so much laundry, and especially the kids ended up camping outside for several days. And so I had to wash so much bedding. I'm actually just getting all of that finished. We can't fit like sleeping bags and stuff in our washing machine, so I have to take those to the laundromat at some point. They're in the car waiting to go. We'll see, maybe this week. Then the next thing on my list was read, which I have done such a good job with reading this year. I had been reading every single day up until 4th of July weekend, and there were a couple of days that I just did not read at all because we were out of the house with family, having a lot of fun, which is great. But I ended up breaking my reading streak on my Kindle. I had been at 258 days of reading, and I broke it that weekend, and I was so sad because I have been reading on my Kindle because my goal is to read more fiction, and I am subscribed to Kindle Unlimited, so it's very easy for me to get on there and do some fiction reading every day. To break that streak, I had started in October of 2020, and I was a little sad. And so there were actually several days in July that I did not read for myself, which is fine. It's not like that big of a deal because it really is just more for my enjoyment and to give myself a brain break, because I tend to read a lot of nonfiction, and a lot of it is personal development. A lot of it is homeschool related. A lot of it is just trying to make better rhythms and be a better homeschooler, and a lot of Christian nonfiction, which I really enjoy. So it was a little sad to not continue with that reading streak. But August 1st, I am starting again, and we will see how far I can get this time. And then the last daily action item I had for July was to go for a walk every day, and I did do that. It's something that helps, center me. It gives me time to just have sort of a break. I don't even often listen to anything when I'm walking anymore. I just listen to nature. It helps center me. My priority for August is rhythm, and the reason it is rhythm is because we are starting back into our homeschool this month, and so a lot of it is going to be focused on getting everybody on the same page while still having enough time for me to do home stuff as well as business stuff, as well as fun things for everybody. It's a challenge to get everybody back into a good rhythm, even though we tend to do homeschool year round and we had our summer sessions, and we're doing things most days for homeschool and just to continue learning. It was not nearly as many hours of work. And I know a lot of people will say you can homeschool in a very short amount of time, and that is very true. However, when you have kids that are getting into high school and upper grades and middle school, it's a lot more work. It's not the same as when your kids are just all in elementary school. Lucy, if I were just doing school with Lucy, it would be 30 to 45 minutes a day and she would be done and it would be very easy. But when Emma is doing some high school credits and Jack is now in middle school and having to do a lot more in-depth work, for us, for our family, we do tend to spend a lot more time during the day homeschooling. And that is just our family. Your family could be completely different. It's totally fine however you set that up. So my priority is rhythm. I am crossing my fingers that everything falls into place. We had our slow start this past week and it was really good. Everybody got everything done that they were supposed to. Emma was doing assigned reading as well as her fun reading and she found a good rhythm for that. We figured out that Jack's coding is probably best to be 2 to 3 days a week because it is a significant amount of work, and it was a little overwhelming for him that first week, but I think that as we keep going, things are going to get better, and I'm really excited about this homeschool year. I feel ready for this homeschool year, which I did not last year, and I never felt like I got into a good rhythm throughout all of 2020, 2021, and so that was kind of rough for me, but I'm really excited about this year. So my monthly action items, the first thing on the list is Jack's birthday. He is turning 11 this month. I cannot believe he's going to be 11. I mean, Emma turned 13 in May, and that was really a lot for me, and now Jack's turning 11, and so that is one of my monthly action items, his birthday party, and just getting things ready for him to have a nice special day. The next thing on my list is pantry organization. I do have a wonderful pantry in our home. It is not organized. It has not been organized since we moved into the house. I need to get some different baskets to sort of keep things together. And I think I'm probably going to try going to the dollar store for that. We'll see how it goes. But I would like that more organized and just ready so that food prep and meal planning is easier as we get into homeschool. It makes my life easier if food is better organized. I think probably that helps most people. But the next thing on my monthly action items is for my awesome adulting, and that is to make all of my yearly appointments for myself and the kids. The kids' appointments are usually pretty standard, and it's very easy for me to get them on the schedule and done, but it is harder for me to put myself on the schedule for appointments because it's a headache to find somebody to help with homeschool while I'm watching my kids, or if my mom is around, that is helpful. If she's not, it's harder for me to find somebody to watch the kids while I go to the appointments, because it's hard to get, super early appointments so my husband can just stay home in the morning. So I need to do that. The next thing on my monthly action items is to do the fall refresh. Now, if you have been using the PowerSheet School Planner, you will see that the fall refresh is actually in October. That's when they have it in this book. It's behind the October tab. However, for me, I think of fall as September, October, November, and then December is its own thing. It's like crazy holiday seasons, and we do completely different things for homeschool, for home management, for everything. And I usually am doing my prep work for the new year in December, because the power sheets, they usually come out mid to late October, I believe. It might be November, but I think it's late October. And so usually after Thanksgiving, I will start to work on my prep work. And then the week before, between Christmas and New Year's, I finish all of my goals for the following year. So December is a little bit different. I do have the fall refresh, which I hope to do at the end of August. So I am thinking ahead to September, October, November already. The next thing on my list is my planning day, which will be at the end of August. It is something that I put on my calendar. Usually at the beginning of the year, I will mark off the days so that I have them already on the calendar and I don't make other plans for that day. It is already on the calendar, but completing it is the key. I did do my planning day for July, but I did not do it on the day that I had planned this year. And my goal is to do it on the day that I planned, because I've marked off that day specifically for that purpose. And if I try and fit it in around a bunch of other things, it takes me longer, and I don't think things out as much as I ought to. So yeah, just do the planning day. The next thing that I have on my list is for Townsend House, and that is to relaunch my Getting Out of the Public School Mindset workshop, course, e-course. I don't know how I want to say what that is. And that is mainly for newer homeschoolers or homeschoolers that are not happy with how their years have been going. And it's a lot about not focusing on the comparison between what the public school is learning and what you are teaching your child. A lot of times when homeschoolers start homeschooling, they automatically want to know what the public school is teaching and follow those guidelines. But the difference is that public school has to stay on a specific line because they have a big group of kids that they're trying to teach these specific things to, and homeschooling isn't like that, because we can slow down or speed up as our kids need it. And so the purpose of this workshop is really to help you shift your thinking and figure out how to make homeschool work for you and your family. And we talk about rhythms and the differences between public school and homeschool and private school and charter school, and all the different ways to educate your child, and how to find curriculum, etc. So if that is something that you're interested in, I will leave a link in the description box for that. It is open now, and my office hours for that course are going to be August 24th through the 27th, I believe. So it is not a live course. You can go through it whenever you want, but the specific time that I will be available to answer questions will be that week in August. So stay tuned. The next thing on my monthly action items is to have monthly conferences with the kids. This will be the first time that I'm doing monthly conferences for the new school year, and that is really just to check in with them to see if they're struggling with anything, if we need to make adjustments to the schedule or to the subjects, or if there is something that they want to do, interest-led learning, they bring it up to me at that point. I will have a video later about my monthly conferences, and I do have like a sheet of questions. If that's something you are interested in that I go through with my kids, let me know, and I can make that available to you. The next thing on my monthly action items is my back to homeschool traditions. So I need to print out their interviews that they fill out on the first day and get everything ready for our first day of school, which is August 9th. I'm really excited about it. The next thing on my list is the weekly action items. And the first one is homeschool planning / Sunday planning. I need to get back into this. I did put Sunday planning on my list last month, and it was mainly focused on all of the things that we were doing in July, family related things, parties and vacation stuff. But now that we are back into our homeschool, I need to make sure that I'm sitting down on Sundays to write out what we are planning to do for the week. And I do this because, depending on appointments or sports or activities or birthdays or all kinds of things, it makes more sense for me personally to write out our week each week instead of planning everything out in advance and writing it all in advance, because then I have to make too many adjustments. So that is the first weekly action item. The next one is weekly calendar setup with Emma and Jack. And this is more our Monday meetings, which I've talked about in the past. It's getting the kids back into a rhythm of sitting down and talking about what we're going to be doing for the week ahead and giving them their list of all of the assignments that I expect them to complete over the week, and so that they can fill it in their planner as they want to. And it's really just to start helping them work on time management, especially for Emma as she's getting into high school and needs to be able to manage her time better. It's just an introduction of time management and me sort of guiding them through their work so that they know what is expected of them. So we are going to start our Monday meetings again. The next weekly action item that I have is food prep and lunch ideas. I mentioned this in a video a while back, that we pack lunch for the kids. I pack lunch for the kids most days. And the reason that I do that is because my kids always want to snack. Because we're home, it's very easy for them to say, I want to get a snack. I want to get a snack. So if I have everything that they can eat during our school day in a lunchbox, they can get it as they want it. And they don't have to ask me to get up and go get a snack, obviously, but it also takes, it doesn't take time away from school, because often, if you have a kid that is maybe a little bored with something, they want to have a snack and then they disappear for a significant portion of time while you're working with another student, another kid in your house. It might be just me, but this cuts down on the questions for food related things in my home. It just makes it a little bit easier for our day to move forward. And then the last thing on my weekly action items is, again, the Townsend House backend work. I think that I said this last month, but I plan to keep that on my list. It's probably going to be on my list for the foreseeable future, because I do have so much work that I need to do for my website. And so it's a lot of work, and probably if I had no other responsibilities, it would be a lot easier to do it. But because I have homeschool and home, it does take me a lot longer to get through things that maybe other people it would not take as long. And then for my daily action items and habits, I'm re-implementing my morning routine. I found that last week when we had our slow start, having that morning routine where I was getting up before my kids and I had a list of things that I was planning on doing each morning, very helpful. So I do want to continue doing that, and I need to write it down because I haven't been in a good morning routine for most of 2021 and probably the end of 2020, if I'm being honest. So I want to re-implement that. Evening routine is something that I have struggled with because I kind of hit a wall in the evenings and just check out, but I want to have a few benchmarks so that I am winding down our day well. One of those things is to go for a walk with the kids as long as the weather holds up. Another is evening yoga. I love yoga with Adrian. It helps me sleep if I do it in the evening. I know probably most people don't do that, but I do enjoy that. And And then I have this little pocket journal from Erin Condren that has like 3 or 4 lines for each day. And I just write out a couple of sentences to just sort of sum up our day for memory keeping. So I want to be able to do those 3 things. I might have a couple other things, I'm not sure. But it's very easy for me to just end the day and then put the kids to bed and then read, and I don't feel like I'm really winding down the day. So I want to have a better evening routine. The next thing is read. I'm gonna cross my fingers that I do this every day. Then walk, and then the next thing is close my Apple rings. I want to close all of my Apple rings every day in August. I'm usually pretty good about it, but there are days that I just do not get the exercise, or I don't get the calories. So I'd like to close my rings every day this month. And then I have a 30-minute tidy, which I have had on for several months, and I like to have that daily reminder. It gives me some accountability. And then the last thing is Maine Homeschool Network check-in / Townsend House Community check-in. And so I also have those things on my list. I'm super excited about August. I also cannot believe that we are already in August. This year seems to have been really slow, but also really fast. Like I said, July, we had a jam-packed July, but I can't believe it's already over. It's so crazy to me. And we felt the shift in the air. In Maine, it comes very early, and so like that humidity leaves. And yes, we do still have a lot of warm days in August and September, and sometimes even October, but that shift in the air, the humidity level leaving, and even when it's 75 degrees outside, it doesn't seem that warm because the breeze is a little bit colder. Yeah, but I'm excited about August. I don't have a ton on here that is really focused on moving my goals dramatically forward. I think that once I do my fall refresh and we are into a better homeschool rhythm, and I know how much time I have available to work on my goals, that will help me as I'm moving into the fall to finish out this year strong. So August is going to be mainly focused on getting everybody back on the same page as far as homeschooling, and yeah. So I hope that this video is helpful to you. I would love to hear what you are working on for August, so leave me a comment below. If you could hit the thumbs up, I would appreciate it, and don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you are notified of all of my future videos. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye guys.